I had so much fun watching Masquerade. This is a 1924 Fleischer short, directed, of course, by Dave Fleischer and starring Max Fleischer as our cartoonist. And I love the narrative for this one. Max is actually dressing as a clown because he's going to a masquerade party, but he accidentally ends up being in the cartoon world on the paper in front of him and interacting with the cartoon Coco. And I love that because in various Coco shorts, Coco actually interacts with Max as his illustrator, as his cartoonist. And so they have a bit of a relationship already. But when Max enters Coco's world dressed as a clown, Coco thinks this is absolutely brilliant, and Max, the clown, ends up getting into all kinds of different situations, which I won't go into too much detail about because I don't want to spoil it. But I just thought it was so splendid. Fleischer were brilliant at blending live action and animation. To think that this was 98 years ago is incredible. It's an absolutely fantastic achievement. Very funny and entertaining. My two favourite bits of animation, without spoiling anything, involves the hat. Quite early on in the beginning, there's a giant hat that Coco was interacting with, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And then towards the end, there's a scene with two elevators, and I thought that was very smooth and fluid, very well animated, very entertaining to watch. It's a very funny episode. Had this been my very first Coco Clown cartoon, I wouldn't have got as much out of it. But because I'm aware that Coco often interacts with the cartoonist and they do have a kind of relationship, having Max then enter Coco's world obviously gives it a slightly different dynamic. If this had been the only first one that I'd seen, I wouldn't have had that knowledge of what their relationship is sometimes like. So I wouldn't ever recommend this as the first Fleischer cartoon you watch. But at the same time, so far it is my favourite, and I would recommend it watching it first because it's brilliant. So kind of mixed messages from me there, but ultimately Masquerade is a delight. I don't believe it was made 28 years ago, 98 years ago. It's a phenomenal achievement, even for then. From start to finish, I found it really entertaining and engaging, very clever, very witty. Really thoroughly enjoyed Masquerade.